here for the Hurricanes. It's 3rd and 26, trailing by a field goal.
Well, they're great at converting third down situations, Brent, but they're better off not taking any chances here. They've already turned the ball over twice.
Bennett's the running back. Collins in the shotgun. 3-man rush for the Mountaineers. Middle screen. Bennett. Slammed out at the 31. David Mayfield.
Excellent call. No, you don't make the first down, but it's not a dangerous throw, and you put the ball in the gifted back's hands, a block downfield or two, maybe you do get it. Good offensive call.
Mike Chrissy will punt, and last time in the Miami end zone, he took too many steps, Dick.
Well, he took one step. He took one step toward the line of scrimmage on the snap.
Mike Baker set to return. This time a better punt to the 27-yard line. Baker trying to cut back away from trouble. Ball is fumbled. Miami still going after it, and West Virginia. The scramble is on. West Virginia hangs on. Toporowski, the defensive back, number 35, apparently is at the bottom of that pile down inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Baker has a lot of experience returning punts, Brent. He's returned 37 of them this year, 65 in his career. But it's stupid to get the ball out there like one hand. That's not using good judgment at all. Look at that right there. He should fumble the football doing something stupid like that.
And that he did. Also trying to twist away there at the end. And then the chase is on. A little of the William Tell overture, please, gentlemen.
Normally you try to scoop it and pull the ball to your belly and cradle that thing.
Darren Studstill.
So he can run.
Checks in at quarterback, giving them a little more mobility. His first series. Walker sprinting to the left. Walker showing his first flash to the 20-yard line.
Whenever you can run off tackle to the weak side of your formation like that, your offensive tackle, that would be Rick Graham, 7'8", had to do a real good job. He's at the left position right here at the top of your screen. He had to do a good job. Oh, they ran a stunt, and they picked up the stunt properly. Good coaching by the offensive line. They picked up that slant.
A 17-yard gain, his best. Our cameraman will go anywhere for the best in visuals. 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers, leading by a field goal here in the second quarter. Walker slashes back to the inside. Well, Darren Studstill enters the game, and Robert Walker comes to life.
Now, they haven't changed the defense, but they do have to alert their outside linebackers that he is their option quarterback. Now, that might be loosening up the front a little bit. You look at this first quarter stats, Miami minus 23, minus 18 total yards, but turnovers. West Virginia +2 right there and only 3 points ahead. That could spell trouble at the end of this one.
2nd and short. Woodard, who checked in at fullback, bolts ahead to the 34. Kevin Patrick and Darren Crine squeeze down. Yeah, you got it right, big man. First down. Fourth quarter now. And Boston College trying to hang on in South Bend with Auburn. Remember, eligible in one poll, but not the other. 1st and 10. Studstill throwing for the first time. In trouble. And he goes down at the 30-yard line. Warren Sapp hanging on.
Miami doing a real good job with their coverage that time on first down, Brent. They're playing a loose zone, and that allows a Warren Sapp and those kind of guys to get to the quarterback because there was no place to throw the ball downfield. Last week, Studstill threw the ball up for grabs twice for interceptions, the only 2 he had this year, but they were poor judgment plays. He didn't do that today.
Wisconsin needs a win in Champaign, and then next week in Tokyo against Michigan State to earn a berth in the Rose Bowl. 2nd and 14. Walker, and he is surrounded. You saw Crine coming from the backside, number 91. Marley, number 2, stepping up to meet him.
Darren Crine is really good. You know, he has 17.5 sacks in his career there. He already has his degrees, an honor student. He'll finish up at probably play on Sunday afternoon, along with maybe all those other guys.
Third and 13. And the quarterback runs the draw. Stood still. The mobility to the 42-yard line, short of the first down by a couple of yards. Richardson hanging on.
Boy, that's a great weapon when you can spread the defense out like they did with 3 wide receivers, get them thinking pass coverage, and then run that draw, because you can use your fullback now as the lead blocker. And he did a pretty good job. He'll set back now. He gets back. They'll follow the fullback as he leads right up through there. That's 28, Rodney Woodard. Now, he'll get a cut block right there to the right side of your screen. See, there he gets a little work off right there, and that good mobility almost gets the first down. But what he does do is get in a better position to punt the football and put Miami in the hole.
Sauerbrunn. It's returnable. Takes a big bounce for the Mountaineers, however. And Jonathan Harris forced to go down at the 8-yard line. The Mountaineers are one of 4 undefeated and untied teams, and one of the 4 under heavy pressure at home. Notre Dame still trailing Boston College. The others, Nebraska and Auburn. So 1st and 10 for Collins and the Canes. Going to fake the end around, and Collins with a receiver covered, so he takes off. And Collins to the 25, and out at the 34 with a fine run before Mike Collins and force him out. John Saunders, what do you got on the Badgers and the Illini?
Brent, Wisconsin may be sniffing the roses soon. Here against the Illini, Darrell Bevell goes 24 yards to Mike Roan to the end zone for the touchdown. They now lead 14-3. And Auburn trying to remain unbeaten. Now with the lead over Alabama, Scott Etheridge with a field goal to give them a 1-point lead. Back to you.
The Badgers of Wisconsin. Miami's first down here. Larry Jones, the running back, gets his first call of the game. Almost slipped the tackle to the 38. It was Mike Collins who has intercepted a pass already today. He's been all over the field.
Well, they stretch you out with their formations. Last time there were 3 wide receivers, and they come off zone blocking. And I'll explain what I mean here. They'll come off at angles like this and stretch the front of you, and he just tries to find that crack with that zone blocking. Now watch Zev Lemelski. See him come off at that angle. They pick everybody up, and he finds the crack.
The Canes trying to mount a drive, trailing by a field goal. Bennett returns. Collins changes the play at the line of scrimmage, and here's where the crowd becomes a factor at Morgantown.
See, they've changed the defensive front. He didn't like that front.
The late toss. Run out of bounds by Wes Richardson, number 41.
See, they changed the defense to a bare defensive front that time. He didn't like what he had called. See, there was a man on the center's nose and both offensive guards covered. They didn't want to run what they had called.
3rd and 2.
See what I'm talking about right there? See, look at the center. He says, hey, get me out of this play. I don't want to block all these guys. I need some help.
3rd and 2 for the Canes. Jones is stuffed, and it's Wiley, 45, who led the charge.
Brent, they tried to cross block a short yardage play, The defense was coming with penetration. They couldn't pick up the penetration, and Wiley makes the big play. Normally in short yardage, you don't like to cross block it, meaning one lineman block down and the other kick out.
Chrissy, his third punt. And back deep is Mike Baker. Baker decides late, and that's dangerous when you reach down on a ball like that, isn't it? When we come back, West Virginia, leading by a field goal, will have a 1st and 10. Let's go back to the Rutgers-West Virginia game. Watch Jake Kelchner. Here's where he injured the hamstring when he was taken out of bounds in that victory over Rutgers. And so, Jack Arute, is the injury bothering him here in this cold today?
Brent, that is not the case. What's happening is Darren Studstill is in by design. The coaches in early in the second quarter of most games like to get him in, get a few snaps. The word we're receiving is that he will play 2, maybe 3 series, and then look for Jake the Snake to be back directing the Mountaineers.
1st and 10 now for Studstill. Mountaineers up a field goal. Going to throw on 1st down, and got a man wide open on that far side. Vanterpool, the freshman.
The reason he was wide open, Rowan Marley, the outside linebacker, blitzed, and there was no underneath coverage. 38-17. Tom Coughlin.
Oh, baby.
Woo! But you know what I'm saying? There was no underneath coverage because they blitzed that linebacker.
Remember, West Virginia, too, is unbeaten, and Miami has lost only to Florida State. So who's going to jump where? Who's going to wind up in what bowl game? It's interesting, isn't it? And the fullback, Woodard, for the 1st down.
Very, very clever play, Brent. They used an influence block by the left guard, got Warren Sapp way upfield, and just ran right where he was. Comes your way on ABC. Folks, I got a good little bit of action for you. Just for a soda pop, tell someone that Arnold Palmer will not be shut out by Payne Stewart, Paul Azinger, and Fred Couples. You can probably get some odds. 1st and 10. And Walker can't get it turned as Rohan Marley cut him down. That time Marley came up underneath the defensive end rather than going outside, so they had the defensive end in contained position and the linebacker fill up inside. He's not very big, but boy is he active, and he's an excellent tackler. 2nd and 12. Boston College's performance in South Bend is really enhancing the Big East today, isn't it? Movement. The defensive lineman got back. Play fake. Studstill going to throw it over the middle. Almost intercepted by Robert Bass. Robert Bass had a chance for an interception. Play action. Throws the linebacker, but then he had the mobility to react. Now watch the right-hand corner of your screen. You'll see 48. See him right there. He acknowledges play action. He comes on. Now we watch him drift right back into it. Good leaper. Should have picked off his first interception in his career. Didn't do it. He may have his college degree, but he'd rather have that interception. That was for all you educators out there, that last line. Speak for yourself, and I'll get us off the hook. 3rd and 12. Studstill on the roll. Studstill throwing downfield. An interference. Interference. He was tackled by C.J. Richardson, who had lost contact with the football and tackled the wide receiver. The receiver got deep and tried to come back for the football, and then Baker hooked him and wouldn't let him come back. Not Baker, rather Richards hooked him and wouldn't let him come back. Lower left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see it appear right down to bottom. See 19? Now see him hook him right there with his left arm, wouldn't let him come back for the ball. They're going to call it a 15-yard penalty in college football. The difference in the NCAA and the NFL rules.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
See, that defender has to give the receiver the opportunity to catch the football. See, and he's preventing him from coming back for the football. He probably wouldn't have been able to get back there anyway. As we saw there, he was slipping on the AstroTurf.
So with the 15 yards, you can see where the ball is. Miami Hurricane territory at the 47. First down, West Virginia. On the delay, it's Walker to the 41-yard line on first down, and Marley hitting first.
You can see what they're doing with the good pass rushers like Kevin Patrick. On first down, yes, not third and long. They run a draw, they invite him upfield, and then they get underneath him with the handoff. That really slows you down on first down from there here on out. You'll see it right over here. They invite him upfield with a pass block, but they run the ball underneath him. See, now see him get him upfield like that? Good job there. See, now great big hole.
Studstill has to go down, and there were penalty flags and whistles sounding.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
You can see Harold Kidd with that cast on his hand. He broke a finger in practice this week. And that could hurt him in attempting to intercept the pass, couldn't it? Hill comes in motion. Studstill's going to throw it. Incomplete. And wow, the Canes were there again. Dexter Siegler, 34.
The coverage had rolled up. Dexter Siegler had the outside quarter short, Brent. If he'd have been watching the ball rather than the receiver, I think he would have moved right into position to pick it off and take it in for a score. He was concentrating on the receiver coming out rather than the ball.
3rd and 9. Dick, what's your impression of the Mountaineer offense so far?
Well, I think they've done a real good job, but they've done a lousy job when they've had the good field position, but they have dominated the game from an offensive standpoint. You know, Miami hasn't done anything with it. At least West Virginia has.
Studstill has time. Intercepted at the 15-yard line. Terrace Harris picks it off.
That was poor judgment on Studstill's part because they had him short and long. No one underneath to hold the short defender up, of course, the line of scrimmage, Brent, and he tried to force it in there on a throwback. Concentrate now. You'll see the quarterback on a short sprint action set up. He's going to throw back. Now he's going to try to go deep. Now, right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see they had him short and long. So 2 guys on him. Poor judgment by Studstill.
The little hully-gully here in Morgantown.
That won't go over real good up here in West Virginia, believe me.
Donnell Bennett, the running back. And Collins off a fake throws to a tight end. That was Dietrich Clausel. Jack Root.
Well, Brent, the wind chill down here has got it down about maybe 9 degrees. And, you know, the University of Miami ordered kerosene heaters, knowing it was going to be cold here. They ordered them locally in Morgantown. Well, they called up to confirm it just about 3 days ago, and guess what? They were out of kerosene heaters. Something about that, right? So they went to New Jersey, and they got these hot seats that are used at Veterans Stadium. Remember in the Army-Navy game? Navy, Notre Dame, we saw them? They ordered those and had them shipped in.
2nd down. This time it's Jones getting the call. Forced out on the far side. 1st down for Miami. First time in the history of West Virginia that they've ever been out of kerosene, folks. Well, at the conclusion of this game, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. And for the 23rd year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Nice to have you along with us. What a season this has developed into. Things are heating up in college football. Basic running play with Bennett behind the left side of the offensive line, and Barry Huckins, 99, is there defensively.
Steve Dunlap, the defensive coordinator, is doing a good job of changing up his defensive fronts on first down. I'm surprised they didn't audible that time, because that's the same defensive front that forced the audible in the last series, Brent. Evidently, they were going on a quick count and could not audible.
You know, Dick, Miami's offense struggled for a quarter against Rutgers and then came up with a big play. They're struggling here again against the Mountaineers. Maybe they can search and find a big play. Collins, receivers are covered, slips a tackle, going to run out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
See, what they wanted to do that time is go to Jonathan Harris on the slot receiver, inside slot receiver, on an option pattern. But what they did with the pass defense, they bracketed him outside and they bracketed him inside. No place to go. So they forced the scramble. Good coverage.
Costa, and remember, he grew up in South Philadelphia. Perhaps he's a little more comfortable with the weather. Maybe he'll get a couple of series. The Irish, meanwhile, on the comeback, 38-25 in the fourth. And Wisconsin, a big one for them. That would leave them one victory away from the Rose Bowl. Now it's 3rd and 4. No running backs. They're going to throw against it. Incomplete. Miami forced the punt by the defense.
See, they came with a blitz, Brent, and they had the running back going out there with a no-back attack. The backfield was empty. The safety came over and picked him up. They tried to go to the hot receiver. Evidently, in this case, it was the running back. He wasn't looking for the football. That was Larry Jones who didn't look back.
Dick, let me ask you about Mike Baker, the return man here on the punts as Chrissy gets ready again. His judgment has not been too good back here for the Mountaineers.
It hasn't been good yet today. He has had a good career returning punts. This one's an easy one.
Pounces on the ball and check his biorhythms. Not real good today. Mountaineers lead it by 3. West Virginia ranks 9th. Kelso returns, and so does the sack attack. Ray Lewis, 52, tackles Jake the Snake.
They came with a blitz right there. They did not pick it up properly. Normally, your protection will slide back away from the direction of your quarterback moving. You'll see the quarterback was moving to the left up on top, and Lewis came from the backside. The quarterback moves out this way, and Lewis comes right in through the backside. See him coming in the backside. They don't slide the protection. Center is late coming out. That's Dale Williams, 65, was late in sliding backside.
Kelchner on the delay, handing to Woodard. Woodard sprints to the left, and Marley there at the point of attack.
Defensive line had just a little too much penetration for him to force it outside like that, Brent, because they couldn't get it up inside where they wanted to go.
3rd and 11. Ball at the 29-yard line.
Total yards. West Virginia, what I was saying earlier, Brent, they're the only ones that really have done anything offensively at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see Costa come in this football game for Miami and start throwing the football in straight drop back stuff.
Woodard again, and he is taken on by Corwin Francis.
Boy, he has played well. There's Costa right there. I talked to him on the field yesterday. His attitude is good about his situation, and you know, what choice do you have? He'd like to be playing. A lot of family members from Philadelphia drove up to the game today.
Harris set to return the punt. Sauerbrunn. West Virginia 3, Miami nothing. Beautiful punt. He slips at the 14. And he is taken down by number 2, Charles Emmanuel. First-year defensive back making the snap on the special teams for West Virginia.
They're demonstrating why they're #1 team in the country on net punt, Brent. they cover the punts real well. And Sauerbrunn has been a very excellent punter. He just hasn't punted enough times to be ranked nationally, but his average would rank him nationally.
Well, since Collins took over at quarterback after the Florida State loss, they've scored 49, 42, 35, and 31 points. But here today, they are scoreless in the first half. Bennett is the Canes running back. Collins on first down. Open receiver, complete to the 40-yard line, and E.C. Tellison, who caught a bomb against Rutgers, out of bounds.
See, now that's the first time they've come out and thrown a drop-back pass on first down. Not a bootleg or a waggle action or a play action. They just came back, let the offensive lineman set, pass, protect, and let him go back and throw. Good change-up.
Shotgun fumble. Collins picks it up, and now he'll take it out of bounds, so he made something out of nothing. A penalty flag comes down. Wes Richardson may have hit him a little late going out of bounds, and a personal foul could be called on Richardson.
You know, they didn't look like they were ready for the shotgun snap on that play. Boy, this right here, this penalty.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit against the defense. First down.
Let's take a look at that entire play and see how it developed. See the shotgun. See, he's not looking at the center right now. He's looking around. You see right in the middle of the screen. He's looking left, looking, and there's the ball. Hits him right in the stomach. Casey Jones snapped it at the wrong time, or the quarterback wasn't concentrating on his own snap. Now he's heading out of bounds, and here comes Richardson. Oh, no, I don't think that's a real vicious call.
Oh, he got him up high, though, didn't he? I mean, that's an automatic.
It almost looked like he was trying to hold him up from that angle rather than knock him down. Well, you can't give Miami anything because they normally take advantage of it.
First and 10 for the Canes, and again, Collins drops back to the shotgun look. Offensive line holds up with the receivers, and now Collins to the end zone. Intercepted Mayfield.
Poor judgment again by Ryan. You don't throw the ball late down the middle or even deep like that against pure zone defenses. The reason he couldn't throw the ball initially was they're all dropped off in zone, just watching the quarterback's eyes. Then he sprints out, he's flushed, he comes out, and he tries to throw it deep. There he is, deep in the shotgun. Pretty good pass rush now. See, they've got some heat coming on him there. The coverage takes it away. Here's the heat from the top of the screen. Now he tries to throw it deep, and they're just sitting back there waiting for him in the zone. Poor judgment.
And Wiley slamming into the quarterback, and now Collins realizing downfield that the ball has been intercepted by the Mountaineers. West Virginia first and 10. Ball on their own 20 as Mayfield with the turnover. And the fullback to the 26-yard line. Woodard with Rohan Marley making the stop for the Canes. Well, tomorrow, ABC Sports has an exciting lineup. First at 1 Eastern, live from Madison Square Garden, Steffi Graf takes on Mary Pierce. It's the finals of the Virginia Slims Championship. Then a figure skating spectacular, pairs and dance finals, the special exhibition from Sudafed Skate America all tomorrow. Walker and Walker to the 26-yard line.
Excellent play by Rowan Marley. They brought the weak side linebacker off the split side of the formation that time, Brent, and he went right underneath the play action and darn near got to the point of exchange. An excellent play. You see him, he'll flash from the left side of your screen. See number 2 come down underneath real tight? Right in there.
Going to throw for it. Now tries to get Hill, and it was out of bounds anyway.
It was obvious then that Kelcher knew he could not sprint. I think in a normal situation he would have run for the first down. He only needed 4 yards, but he knew he better not sprint because that hamstring is sore and it's all taped up. If he tested it too much, he'd pull it again.
A defensive struggle between unbeaten West Virginia and once beaten Miami. West Virginia with 4 golden scoring opportunities in the first half and 1 field goal to show for it. Jonathan Harris set to return Sauerbrun's punt.
It looks like they're going to come after it, Brent. They haven't had 1 block this year.
And timeout has been called. Sauerbrunn saw that alignment, and a reminder that coming up at halftime, John Saunders will have scores and highlights. What a day this has been so far in college football. Ohio State, a victory away from the Rose Bowl, stumbles in Ann Arbor. Notre Dame, ranked #1, having difficulty against Boston College. And a football feast coming your way on ABC. Let's take you down quickly through it. On Thanksgiving, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. College fans, Georgia Tech will be big down in the Atlanta area. Then on Friday, doubleheader, Syracuse-Rutgers up here in the Northeast, Duke, North Carolina, Houston-Rice. And the second game will be the full network presentation, Oklahoma and Nebraska. How good are the Cornhuskers? Going back to the Orange Bowl again, we'll find out. Meanwhile, on Saturday, Florida State with a toughie. They go into Gainesville to take on the Gators. And some of you will see Penn State against Michigan State. Time remaining in the first half. Now Sauerbrunn and the punt team ready. Pressure in the middle, but Sauerbrunn got off a beauty. He's going to drive Harris back to the 16-yard line under pressure. That was great punt coverage and well done by Sauerbrunn.
Boy, he nailed that one. You can see why he's averaging 42 net and 46 in his average. But he coming into this ball game, he'd only punted 25 times all year.
Dick, Miami has to feel so good about trailing by only a field goal right now.
With all those turnovers, interceptions.
Oh, wow.
Gosh. Look at this. West Virginia punt coverage. #1 in the country, 42.4 net. Now, when I say net, that means the punt return has been removed from the length of the punt, and it is still 42 yards. I think Dennis Erickson's really disappointed in his offense right now, too. Yes, you're going to give some credit to West Virginia, but they have not played well. They've been out of sync, Brent.
Well, the penalty brings the ball back inside the 15-yard line. Time remaining. Bennett with Hawkins there defending.
They have 3 timeouts, but obviously they're just going to go ahead and let the clock run out.
The first half comes to an end in Morgantown. The unbeaten, untied Mountaineers leading by a field goal, and John Saunders will have all the news and highlights from around the country. What a day this has been so far.